Welcome back to Pocket Change Coins. You won't believe the rare and valuable US coins still hiding in everyday pocket change. Some are worth a fortune. If you're into finding real money in unexpected places, make sure to like and subscribe for more surprising coin discoveries. Let's dive right in. First, we're diving into the fascinating story of the United States 5-cent coin from 2004, minted in Philadelphia with the iconic P mint mark. This isn't just any ordinary coin. Some extremely rare examples from this year have stunned collectors and sold for unbelievable amounts, all because of hidden errors, special varieties, and top-grade conditions that most people overlook. Now, 2004 was a very special year for US nickels. It marked the beginning of the Westward Journey nickel series, a commemorative design that honored the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. In total, there were two special reverse designs released in 2004, the piece metal design and the keelboat design. Both designs replaced the classic Monticello image on the reverse for a limited time. And while millions were minted, a very small number came out of the presses with errors and anomalies that now make them worth thousands, yes, even tens of thousands, of dollars. So what exactly should you be looking for in a 2004 P nickel? Let's start with one of the most famous errors, the speared bison. This variety actually comes from the 2005 series, but it kicked off a wave of interest in Westward Journey nickels. In 2004, a similar buzz began when collectors started spotting die gouges, doubling, and clashing marks on both the piece metal and keelboat designs. One of the most talked about 2004 errors is the double die reverse, DDR, found on the piece metal design. If you look closely at the words Louisiana Purchase or the handshake on the reverse and notice slight doubling, you might be holding something much more than just 5 cents. Another critical thing to examine is the Jefferson portrait on the obverse. Some collectors have reported unusual features like die cracks, cuds, raised lumps of metal where part of the die broke, and even off-center strikes that make the coin look lopsided. Each of these varieties adds uniqueness, and the rarer the mistake, the higher the value. Collectors and grading companies like PCGS and NGC have also confirmed high auction prices for 2004 P nickels that score in mint state 68 or higher, especially those with full steps detail on Monticello, when that design returned in later issues. Even though the piece metal and keelboat designs don't feature Monticello, the demand for flawless nickels from this series remains incredibly strong. But the true holy grail? A 2004 P nickel with a bold error, a perfect uncirculated grade, and full originality, that's what drives collectors wild. At recent auctions, these nickels have soared to prices that shocked even seasoned dealers. And yes, we're not talking about a rare gold coin, we're talking about a modern nickel. One such example, featuring a rare combination of die clash marks and dramatic doubling, graded in pristine condition, and housed in a protective slab, made headlines. After competitive bidding and excitement among numismatists, that little 5-cent coin sold for an astonishing $50,000, let that sink in. A coin you might find in your pocket change, worth $50,000. So now it's your turn. Take a good look at your 2004 nickels, especially those with the P mint mark. Use a magnifier, good lighting, and a little patience. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, minting gouges, and anything that seems unusual. And if you think you found something promising, don't wait, submit it to a grading service and get it authenticated. That small step could make a massive difference, and don't forget, we want to hear from you. Have you ever come across a strange-looking 2004 nickel? Do you have a question about your coin collection? Drop a comment below, share your stories, or post a picture if you've got a find you want to show off. Our community of collectors is growing fast, and you just might be the next person with a rare coin story to tell. Second rare coin, we're talking about the 1964 D Jefferson Nickel, a coin so common in appearance, yet some rare examples have taken the coin world by storm, fetching jaw-dropping amounts at major auctions. So whether you're a dedicated collector, a casual coin hunter, or just someone curious about the hidden gems in everyday life, you'll want to listen very carefully to what I'm about to share. This is the story of how a 5-cent coin minted in 1964 could potentially change your financial life. the 1964 D nickel was produced at the Denver Mint, marked by a small d just to the right of Monticello on the reverse. It was the last year that Jefferson Nickels were minted using 90% copper and 10% nickel, and because of the looming coin shortages at the time, the U.S. Mint struck over 1.7 billion of them. That number alone might make you think this coin is nothing special, but that's where the surprise comes in. Among those billions, a few were struck with incredible errors, die anomalies, and extremely sharp strikes, creating a handful of extremely valuable collectibles. Let's talk about the rare features that make the 1964 D nickel so desirable. One of the most well-known and valuable varieties is the full steps designation. This refers to the number of clearly defined steps on the base of Monticello. Most 1964 D nickels have weak or worn details on the steps, but a very small percentage were struck so perfectly that every single step line is visible and separated. A 1964 D nickel with 5 or 6 full steps, especially graded MS66 or higher, is an immediate red flag for rarity, and collectors will pay an extraordinary premium to add it to their collection, but there's more. The 1964 D nickel is also famous for minting errors. Some were struck on clad planchets meant for other denominations. Others feature double die obverse errors, where doubling appears in the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," or the date itself. Then there are die clashes, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks, RPMs, where the D mint mark appears stamped more than once in a misaligned fashion. These errors create a dramatic visual effect and immediately set your coin apart as something special. One of the rarest and most valuable varieties is the 1964 D nickel with full steps and no signs of die deterioration, paired with a mint error such as an off-metal strike. These coins are virtually impossible to find in circulation today, but those that do exist have caught the attention of professional graders and auction houses, and speaking of auctions, this is where the excitement really kicks in. In recent years, a 1964 D Jefferson nickel with full steps and a flawless, high-grade surface shocked the numismatic world when it came up for bidding. Multiple elite collectors vied for it, understanding how rare such a combination truly is. The final bid left everyone stunned. That single 5-cent coin sold for an unbelievable $150,000, yes, you heard that right. A nickel, something most people overlook every single day, became a six-figure treasure thanks to its condition, rarity, and historical importance. So, what should you do now? Grab a magnifying glass, some good lighting, and take a close look at your nickels from 1964. Pay special attention to the D mint mark, look at the Monticello steps for sharp details, and examine the lettering and numbers for any signs of doubling. If you think you've got something out of the ordinary, consider sending your coin to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and valuation, and if you've already found something unusual, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment below and let us know what's in your collection. Ask your questions, share your coin stories, and connect with fellow collectors in our growing community. We love hearing from you and helping you uncover the hidden value in your pocket change. Third expensive coin, we're diving into a coin that's fooling collectors and non-collectors alike. We're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1987 with the P mint mark. At first glance, it looks like just another Jefferson nickel, tossed aside, buried in couch cushions or forgotten in piggy banks across the country. But in rare cases, this humble 5-cent coin is hiding incredible secrets, and if you're lucky enough to find one with the right features, it could be worth a fortune. Let's start with the basics. The 1987 P Jefferson Nickel was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P located just to the right of Jefferson's bust. Over 372 million of these coins were produced that year. With such a high mintage, it's easy to assume this coin is completely common. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1987 P nickels are created equal. Some of them carry extraordinary errors, stunning condition quality, or a combination of both that transforms them into some of the most valuable modern nickels in the coin world. So what exactly makes a 1987 P nickel rare and expensive? Let's break it down. One of the most important features collectors look for is something called full steps on the reverse of the coin, specifically on the base of Monticello. Most nickels from this era were poorly struck, leading to weak or blurry details on Monticello's steps. But in a small number of coins, the steps appear completely crisp and fully defined, showing 5 or even 6 clear lines. This level of sharpness is extremely rare for the 1987 P and drastically increases the coin's value. Another major factor is minting errors. Some of the most sought-after 1987 P nickels include double die errors, where parts of the design, like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date, appear doubled, either slightly or dramatically. There are also off-center strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets that add uniqueness and rarity. Even more intriguing are coins struck on the wrong planchet, such as a nickel accidentally struck on a penny blank. Those errors are incredibly rare and can drive collectors into bidding wars. Now let's talk condition. Even without errors, the condition of a 1987 P nickel plays a massive role in its value. Coins graded MS66 or MS67 with brilliant luster, strong strike, and no visible marks are highly sought after. Combine that condition with full steps and you've got something really special. These coins are often slabbed and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, and they regularly appear in high-end auctions. One such coin, a 1987 P nickel in nearly flawless condition, featuring full steps and striking die clarity, recently became the highlight of a coin auction. With collectors from around the country watching and bidding fiercely, the final price came in at a stunning $60,000. That's right. A 5-cent coin, the kind you might find lying unnoticed in your junk drawer, sold for $60,000. Imagine the thrill of discovering something so valuable in your everyday change. So here's your mission: start checking your nickels. Look for the P mint mark, examine the steps on Monticello, and keep an eye out for oddities or doubling in the lettering. Even the smallest detail can turn an average coin into a hidden treasure. And if you find something interesting, don't let it sit in your pocket. Get it graded and authenticated by a trusted coin grading company. If you've got a 1987 P nickel you think might be rare, we want to hear about it. Drop a comment below, share your photos, and let us know your coin story. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, you never know where your next great find might come from. Specially, we're uncovering the story behind the United States 5-cent coin from 1991 with the P mint mark. It might look like just another Jefferson nickel, tossed around in your pocket change, but hidden among them are rare treasures that can make collectors, and even beginners, sit up and take notice. The 1991 P nickel was minted in Philadelphia, and it's a coin that doesn't typically raise eyebrows. Over 600 million of these nickels were produced that year. With such a massive number in circulation, most people assume every 1991 P nickel is ordinary and worth, well, 5 cents. But the truth is, in the world of coin collecting, it's not always about how many were made, it's about how few survived in perfect condition or with rare and unexpected errors. Let's get into the heart of what makes certain 1991 P nickels stand out. One of the key factors is the full steps variety. This refers to the steps on Monticello, the building on the reverse side of the coin. Most nickels from this time have weak strikes, meaning the steps are barely visible or appear blurry. But in a tiny fraction of coins, the steps are fully struck and separated, showing clear detail from top to bottom. This full steps feature instantly boosts the coin's desirability and value, especially when paired with a high mint state grade. Another valuable clue lies in mint errors, and believe me, there are some stunning examples from 1991. One of the most exciting is the double die obverse error. This means that parts of the design, like the date or inscription such as, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," appear doubled. To the naked eye, it might just look like a shadow or slight blur, but with magnification, you'll see that the letters are truly duplicated. That's not a manufacturing flaw, it's a collector's dream, but it doesn't stop there. There are also off-center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned during minting, resulting in a crescent-shaped cutoff or skewed image. Some coins from 1991 even show clipped planchets, where part of the coin is literally missing due to a blank cutting error. And let's not forget the die cracks, cuds, and repunched mint marks, RPMs, small but powerful details that set your coin apart from the rest. So how do you know if you've got a winner? First, take a close look under good lighting and use a 10x magnifier if possible. Look at Monticello's steps on the reverse. Do you see 5 or 6 clearly separated lines? That's a great sign. Then check the inscriptions and date on the front. Look closely for any doubling or distortion. If your coin seems unusual, the next step is to have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Their authentication and mint state grading can skyrocket your coin's credibility and value. Now let's talk numbers. In recent years, rare 1991 P nickels with full steps and error varieties have made surprising appearances in auctions. One example, a flawless, mint state coin with full steps and a subtle doubling error, sold for a jaw-dropping price. After intense bidding from serious collectors, it sold for an unbelievable $50,000. That's right, what once passed hands as ordinary pocket change became a legendary coin worth $50,000. It's these types of stories that keep collectors on the hunt, and it proves that hidden treasures are still out there. So here's your challenge: go check your jars, your drawers, and your old coin folders. Look for 1991 P nickels, and don't overlook any details. You never know if the coin sitting in front of you is the next rare find waiting to be discovered. If you think you've spotted something special or have questions about your own collection, share it in the comments below. We love hearing your coin stories, answering your questions, and helping new collectors learn the ropes. Whether you're a hobbyist or just curious, this is a community built on excitement, discovery, and a love for history you can hold in your hand. Last unique coin, we're talking about the legendary United States 5-cent coin from 1943 with the P mint mark, a wartime nickel that might just be hiding in a forgotten drawer or passed down through generations without anyone realizing its incredible value. This isn't just another old coin, this is a piece of American history, a wartime artifact, and in rare cases, a jaw-dropping treasure for collectors. Now, what makes the 1943 P nickel so special? Let's take you back in time to 1943, right in the heart of World War II. With the nation fully engaged in the war effort, the U.S. Mint made a major change to its coinage. Because nickel metal was needed for military production, the Mint altered the composition of the 5-cent coin. From mid-1942 through 1945, nickels were no longer made with the standard 75% copper and 25% nickel formula. Instead, they were minted using an alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. That's right, these nickels contain actual silver, giving them immediate historical and monetary interest. The 1943 P nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and one of the easiest ways to identify it is by the large P mint mark located above Monticello on the reverse side. This was the first time a mint mark had ever been placed on a coin from the Philadelphia Mint, which makes it a fascinating collectible even without any rare errors. But here's where things get truly exciting. While millions of these coins were produced, only a very small percentage have survived in pristine condition or with unusual mint errors that make them incredibly valuable. Collectors go crazy over high-grade versions of the 1943 P nickel, especially those that earn the full steps designation from grading services like PCGS or NGC. Full steps means the stairs at the base of Monticello are completely visible and sharply struck, something extremely rare on wartime nickels due to worn dies and rushed production. A full steps 1943 P nickel in mint condition is already a hot commodity, but add an error into the mix, and now you're looking at serious money. Some of the most sought-after 1943 P nickels include double die obverse (DDO) errors, where parts of the text like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the dates show clear doubling. Others feature off-metal strikes, like a 1943 P nickel struck on a copper planchet meant for pennies. This is ultra-rare and easily six-figure territory. There are also die breaks, die clashes, and off-center strikes, each one adding to a coin's uniqueness and value. In recent years, these rare error nickels from 1943 have been making waves in the auction world. One remarkable example, a 1943 P with a strong double die and graded in pristine condition, stunned collectors when it crossed the auction block. The final price? A jaw-dropping $200,000, yes, a coin originally worth 5 cents became the star of an auction house, changing the life of its owner and capturing the imagination of collectors across the world. So what can you do? Start by checking your old coin jars, coin rolls, or even your inherited family collections. Look for the 1943 date and the big P mint mark above Monticello. Grab a magnifying glass and examine every detail, especially the lettering and date for signs of doubling. And check those Monticello steps. If they're crisp and fully struck, you may have something extraordinary. If your coin looks promising, don't take chances, get it authenticated and graded. Professional grading not only confirms the coin's legitimacy but also protects it and adds tremendous value if you ever decide to sell. And now it's your turn. Do you have a 1943 P wartime nickel in your collection? Have you ever found one with a strange error or unusually sharp details? Drop a comment below and tell us your story. We're building a community of collectors who love sharing discoveries, asking questions, and learning the secrets hidden inside America's coinage. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more amazing coin stories, and hit that bell icon so you're the first to know when we drop new content that could change the way you look at the coins in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and always remember, that simple nickel in your hand might just be a fortune waiting to be found. Happy collecting!